Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Being here, and today I'm coming at you with an interesting video. One I didn't fully plan on filming, but I was originally going to do my April book haul, but I only got 3 books this month, maybe 4. All of them from book boxes, so it's nothing all that interesting, honestly. So instead I'm going to do another like time travel-ish kind of video, and this one I'm going to go through all of the books I have ever received from book boxes. Now this is not going to include Book of the Month books because they have their own shelf in the other room, and if you guys want a tour of that, let me know. But I figured I've gotten an assortment of different book boxes in the past, and some of them I received 2 now. I have received 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5, 6 if you count Once Upon a Time, or Once Upon a Bookcase, because Once Upon a Bookcase did not have books in it though, it just had a phone case in it. Anyways, moving on. But I'm gonna go back. I think the first year that I received a book box was 2018. So that was 5 years ago. Yeah, my collection has gotten to slightly absurd levels here. But I figured I'd go back in time and let's revisit some of these old book boxes some of these old books that I got from these book boxes, and embarrass myself by realizing how few of these books I have actually read. Shall we? Let's get started. So going back to 2018, the first book box that I ever subscribed to was called the Bookly Box. Now, the Bookly Box no longer exists, unfortunately. However, it was a book box that transferred and became another box called Page Habit. Now, Page Habit also no longer exists. They do still have an Instagram, so you can find them at Page Habit. I think it's just Page Habit. It's either Page Habit or Page Habit Box. I don't remember. I'll put it down here, right here below. But I figured I'd go back in time. I'm not going to give you the synopsis of all these books. Otherwise, we are literally going to be here all day, and no one's got time for that right now, guys. I mean, you might, but you can look these up. One of the things that really drew me to the Bookly Box, or what became the Page Habit Box, was that they would take notes in their books. So they would have little post-its in the side at certain pages that were put there by the author, or the author identified the page number that they wanted these post-it notes on to denote like fun facts for while you're reading this book. So I think that's pretty cool. The first couple didn't have that, I don't think, that or I took them all out. But yes. All right, so you can see this pile next to me. Yeah, this is how big there's a lot of them. All right, let's get started. So the first book I ever received from a book box is The Heretic Land by Tim LeBon. I never read this book. I started it at one point and never really got into it. The back says, an island prison, an ocean full of monsters, no chance of escape. So maybe I'd enjoy it now rather than back then. These aren't all in the correct order because honestly, I just don't remember the correct order, and my bookstagram was not consistent enough for me to keep a good track of all of it. But the next book that I know I got at some point for this is The Seven Princes, book 1 of The Shaper, or volume 1 by John R. Foltz. This just says, 7 princes, 7 destinies, all will be legend. Again, I didn't read this one yet. I also got A Darkly Beating Heart by Lindsay Smith. I don't remember what this one's about. It's a short one, though. It's kind of got a cool cover. And I also got Freaks by Amanda Hocking. The Witch Who Came In From the Cold, created by Lindsay Smith and Max Gladstone, written by Lindsay Smith, Max Gladstone, Cassandra Rose Clark, Ian Tregillis, and Michael Swanwick. So I believe this is actually like, oh no, this isn't what I thought it was. Never mind. But I believe this is like a whole series in one book because it's huge. But these are the post-it notes I was kind of mentioning. So if you open it up from the author, they say check out theirs, check inside for our notes. So that's pretty cool. This one does take place in Prague in 1970, and that's what I know about it. Next, we have The Waking Land by Callie Bates. I now own this entire trilogy. That's all I got on that one. Magician's Impossible by Brad Abraham. This is on my TBR for this month, and I am planning on picking it up quite soon. One of Us Will Be Dead by Morning by David Moody. The first horror book, actually, I technically got in a box. The Wolf by Leo Carew. This one has a sequel that's called The Spider, which I also now have, and it's a red book with a spider on the cover. And the top description of this one says, war, rivalry, and honor in a world where the fiercest enemies are always closer than they seem. Next, I have Mem by Bethany C. Morrow. This book I actually did start. I honestly I got distracted, but it's really quite cool. It's got almost a see-through kind of cover or dust jacket, so that's pretty cool. Next, we've got Blood of the Four by Christopher Golden and Tim Laban. This is the first in a series, I believe, and it's just Blood is Thicker Than Magic. Next, we've got the first book that I have actually read, and that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Yeah, it had the little things in it, and I did read this one. I really enjoyed her notes in this. I would highly recommend this book, and it is very, very good. Next was another book that actually came double in a box, but I got rid of the first one, and that is Blackbird by Michael Fiegel. I don't really know anything about this one, except for it's very shiny, and I was always convinced that it was dirty right here because it looks weird, but apparently it's not. Unless it is, I'm still worried that it is. I don't know that it is though. Next is a book that I am actually currently reading, and that is A Plague of Giants by Kevin Hearn. This is a multiple POV high fantasy novel. Very lengthy, and there is a sequel out for this one right now as well. And then we have An Alchemy of Masks and Mirrors by Curtis Craddock. This was blurred by Brandon Sanderson. Is really the only thing I know is that Brandon Sanderson loved this book. And this guy is also a bit of an artist. So it says, a delightful and engrossing fantasy debut featuring a brilliant heroine and her singular guardian, a royal musketeer. And after having just watched The Three Musketeers on Hulu, not just watched, but I did watch The Three Musketeers The Musketeers on Hulu. This would be a good one to read now, wouldn't it? And then the last book, I believe that I still own from this box is The Midnight Front by David Mack, and I have read this one. I do have the 2 sequels. This is the only book that came in hardcover, which is unfortunate in my opinion. This is a book that I think everyone should. If you're into epic fantasies and you're into historical fiction, this is a good one that is a combination of the two because it is a World War II story with magicians. So, come on, guys. These are the books from my first box. And now let's move on. Okay, the next box that I'm going to get into is one that I only did quarterly for a little while, and that is the Spearcraft quarterly box. I got this one for a solid while, and I really did enjoy it. It was a good box to have. Unfortunately, I just had to choose between the boxes that I was going to get, and this one just didn't make the cut for me. So I loved everything that I got in it, and they were unique books, so I would still recommend this box as well. But one of the first books I got in this box was Teeth in the Mist by Dawn Kurtag. I have read this book. I loved it, and I highly recommend it. It is a thriller told in multiple timeline points of view about the history of a haunted house. Then I also got Deadfall by Stephen Wallenfels, and I believe this is just about missing people? What is this? Haunted by their past, hunted by a killer. And I just really like this cover. It just looks really cool. Haven't read it yet. Then I've got The Girl the Sea Gave Back by Adrienne Young. And this one actually did come with a bookplate. And we did we meet Adrienne Young? I feel like we met Adrienne Young. I think we might have. I don't remember. No, I feel bad for not remembering, but I think we might have met her. Because I think I have a signed copy of Sky in the Deep, too. I don't remember, though, but I heard mixed things about this book. And then, as a surprise, in one of their boxes, they sent us double books, and we got The Wren Hunt and its sequel, The Wicker Light, both by Mary Watson. Again, I have not yet read these, but I've heard good things about The Wren Hunt, at least. I haven't heard anything about The Wicker Light yet, though. I ran out of room on this shelf, so now they're up on the second shelf. I knew I would. The last book I believe I got from Spearcraft is The Winter Duke by Claire Eliza Bartlett. Someone wants to help her, someone wants to use her, and someone wants to kill her. I vaguely remember getting these books. In case you can't tell, I don't know a lot about a lot of these, but it's because they've kind of piled up and gotten a little jumbled in my head, and I did not review them before I started this video, which I really probably should have. This is a retelling of something, and I want to say it's of the Snow Queen, but I don't remember. It doesn't help that some of these boxes, I got them at the same time, and so they all, like, I get mixed up as to which ones came from which boxes, and I can't go by when they came. I'm just making excuses for myself now. All right, the next box that I'm going to move on to is a box that I currently get, and that is the Beacon box. Now, you will have seen, if you have been on this channel for any period of time, you will have seen that I get these monthly. And so, yes, I'm just going to hop right in. Again, I'm terrible at the order of things, so these are in no particular order, except for the order that I'm grabbing. The first one is one that I got about halfway through, and I don't know why. I think I put it down, and then honestly, I think I lost it. And I found it again, and that is The Beckoning Shadow by Catherine Blair. I really was getting into this book, too, and I'm really sad that I lost it, and now I'm going to be restarting it. But I do plan on restarting this book and rereading it. The tagline for this is, a power she can't control, a past she can't escape, a fight she can't lose. And then we've got one of my favorite books of all time, Thorn by Intisar Kanani. I do have the sequel for this one, as well as the novella that goes with it. I got an e-copy of it, and I'm so happy to have an e-copy of Brambles. This is a retelling of Goose Girl, and the tagline is, one princess, two fates, one impossible choice. If you don't know anything about the Goose Girl, I would highly recommend looking it up and then reading this book, because I think it was really well done. I really enjoyed this one. I also got Splinters of Scarlet by Emily Bain Murphy. Tagline being, the truth is a thread only her magic can unravel. I have not yet read this one. Does it say? It does not say when I got it, but I have kept the little insert in here. So, and this one is stamped and signed, so that's pretty cute. I like it a lot. I don't know why I'm emphasizing my T's right now, but I am. And next, we've got These Vengeful Hearts by Catherine Lauren. The tagline of which is, secrets are the most powerful currency of all, which one is true, and two, I still am obsessed with this cover, and I believe this is a Queen of Hearts retelling, which I am very intrigued by, and I'm very saddened that I haven't read it yet, so hopefully I'll pick up this one soon. And I also have Muse by Brittany Caballero. This is a futuristic version of the Chicago World's Fair, which I think will be super fascinating. I love learning about that time in history. And the tagline for this is, she can remake the world or burn it all down, which also seems to be a very common tagline, but that's okay. Next, we've got House of Dragons by Jessica Clues. And all I know about this one is that it's about dragons and win at all costs. 5 houses will hear the call to compete for the dragon throne. A liar, a soldier, a servant, a thief, and a murderer will answer it. Who will win? Why haven't I read this book yet? I honestly have no idea. Sorry if the angle's different. My dad called me and I needed to answer. Next book we have that I got from Beacon Box is Seasons of the Storm by Ellie Cosimano. And together they are the storm, but this follows all of the seasons as personified. So they all each have to kill each other, and then 2 of the seasons fall in love. So I think it's going to be adorable, and it looks slightly steampunky. I don't know why this looks steampunky. I don't think it's steampunk at all, but this cover just is a little steampunk-lookish for me. Steampunkish look for me. Words are hard. All right, and next we've got Set Fire to the Gods by Sarah Rosh and Kristen Simmons. I love this cover. I've heard amazing things about this book. I have not yet read it, so we'll get there. Next, we've got Crown Chasers by Rebecca Coffindiffer. I cannot say that last name to save my life. And it's, they can make the rules, but they can't make her follow them. Yes. I haven't read this one yet either, but I believe this is a space race for who's going to rule the galaxy next or something like that. And then the next book I have is The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. I have read Danielle Page's series, the Dorothy series, the Dorothy Must Die series, which I did read the first book of and relatively enjoyed. That I probably should just finish it, but I never did. But this one is These Sorority Girls Are Real Witches, which I think sounds like a lot of fun. So it's actual witchcraft in a sorority, not just rumored. Next, we've got Heiress Apparently by Diana Ma. Fortune Favors the Bold, and again, I haven't read this one. This one surprised me. It just seems so out of place with all these other books that we have gotten from Beacon, but I'm intrigued to see how it is and what happens. So, and then the most recent one that I have gotten from Beacon is actually a repeat, and that is Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica S. Olson, which is a Phantom of the Opera retelling, I believe, of some sort. It's really short, so I'm not sure. And I just didn't feel like taking this bookmark out because it's so pretty. And it matches the book. All right, one more box. All right, and the last box that I received, the one that I still receive now and is still probably to this day my favorite book box that I receive, is the Unplugged book box. This one is known for providing items that are useful and concentrate mostly on self-care and mental health and just relaxing while reading a good book. So I'm going to start off. I think I've gotten rid of one book in this stack, but I don't remember, I'm not going to lie, because I have a terrible memory. If you haven't figured this out already, I have an awful, awful memory. So first book I have here is, I know it's the first one I got from them, is Four Seasons at Angelinos by Caroline McBride. This is A Year to Find the One. So all about a girl traveling the world trying to find the one she's in love with, or the one she will marry. I also have When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is a thriller, and the tagline is Rear Window meets Get Out in this gripping thriller from a critically acclaimed and New York Times notable author, in which the gentrification of a Brooklyn neighborhood takes on a sinister new meaning. Then we have Simmer Down by Sarah Smith, another book that just sounds absolutely adorable, and it is all about food trucks and spicy food, and yes, it just looks adorable. So this food truck romance serves up an enemies to lovers story that is spicy, sweet, and which is spicy, salty, and sweet. Delicious. Then I've got The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagner. I'm not sure. The first fantasy book that I ever got from them, and it just continues after that. But this one's a little bit longer, but I'm super excited. It says, sparks fly in this enchanting fantasy novel from the author of Unnatural Magic when a down-and-out fire witch and a young gentlewoman join forces against a deadly conspiracy. I'm down for this. Next book was a huge surprise, and I mean that with a pun, because it was a large book, and that is The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, who turns out is more than one person. By the way, fun fact. This is blurred by S.A. Chakraborty, which she wrote this one, The City of Brass, which I actually already talked about briefly today because I got it in another box. This one says, fortune favors the bold, magic favors the liars. Almost there, guys. And then we've got The Conductors by Nicole Glover. So the tagline we have for this, from a bold new voice comes a vibrant story of magic and murder set in the aftermath of the Civil War. They find such unique books that I feel like I have never heard of before, and I'm so excited to get into all of these. I really am. This is the only book that I had heard of before I got it, but that was because I went looking for books that came out this month. And the last book is The Bone Maker. This is the one I have most recently gotten, and it is by Sarah Beth Durst. And the blurb for this one, the quick little blurb for this one is from award-winning author Sarah Beth Durst, a standalone epic fantasy set in a brand new world of towering mountains and sparkling cities, in which a band of aging warriors has a second chance to defeat dark magic and avenge a haunting loss. So, I feel like I need to stand aside now. I have 2 full shelves of books that I've gotten from book boxes. I have gotten rid of some of them. The ones that I have gotten rid of are ones that I have read and that I figured I probably would never read again. So, that's that. I also have acquired books that were in other book boxes, but never book boxes that I myself have actually paid for. These, I have paid for every single one of these boxes. Why? Why do I do this to myself? Now I need to read all of these. All right, let's go through and do a quick count. 41. So there are 41 books here in total. Of these 41, I have read I have read 4 3/2. Okay, I need help, guys. I need help. I need you guys to give me some ideas of how I can ensure that I am reading these books, because this is ridiculous and I cannot stand it anymore. I am done with not reading the books that I have. So, we're not buying books right now. I am only doing my book boxes for now. I am not really buying any more books for the foreseeable future. Unless they're series that I'm in the process of reading, and those are mainly the mangas that I have pre-ordered, ones that have not yet come out. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And do I read one from each box each month? Do I read one a month? What do I do? I need some suggestions here, guys. I would love to hear what you have to say. Any priority books that you think I should read now, like ASAP, now kind of thing. Please leave them down below. Please let me know. And that is my video for you guys here today. So I hope you enjoyed my misery and my calling myself out on having read so few of my books, and that unfortunately that's pretty typical for me. Yeah. I'm not good at this. I'm really not good at this. All right, so that's what I got for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, now is the perfect time to give it a thumbs up and to hit that subscribe button down below. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And if you want to be reminded when we post these videos, hit the little bell icon down below. Until next time, guys, I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and keep reading. Bye! I feel so called out now.